Alright, so in this video I'm going to be showing you the Ridgid compact bandsaw. This is kind of like an uncommon bandsaw. It's used for other than heavy duty stuff, but it works really good for cutting small pieces of steel, flat steel, thin plate, and so forth. I will say, before I show you the product, I took it out of the box, I put the band that came with it on, I used it for maybe 30 seconds and the band broke at the weld, which was kind of crappy. It was a Ridgid band blade. I looked for replacements, can't find replacements. I ended up having to get Milwaukee replacement blades for my Ridgid. How stupid is that? So I was trying to cut 3/16 and it broke the blade. It probably wouldn't have broken if it was thinner material, but it could have been a crappy blade. So let's check it out. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about. This is your Ridgid. It has a 2.5 inch cut capacity, 18 volt. So if you already have Ridgid tools, you can still use your batteries on this. And so it'll also tell you that it can be used for cutting threaded rod, black pipe, PVC, conduit, unistrut, angle iron, and wood. So it's not made for like cutting 1-inch steel or something big and heavy. Remember, this is a compact, lightweight bandsaw used for smaller items, which I never knew really existed. This is how small they are. Pretty freaking small compared to compared to the normal size bandsaw. You can see the difference. I mean, this one's got a 5 or 6 inch throat. I think it's a 6 inch throat. And what was this? This was only a... Damn. So comparing it to your standard size, I think it's a 6 inch. And then you have your 2.5 inch cut. You can see how much smaller it is. Milwaukee does sell a compact bandsaw also. I'm not one of those Milwaukee fan lovers where everything has to be Milwaukee. I'm just going to buy what's good and what works. So let's put a battery in this. And see just how well it works. Alright, so you got your battery. These are 18 volt, of course, 4 amp hour. They slide in right here on the top, so that when you're actually holding it, it's pretty balanced out. So that's pretty cool. And it doesn't have like a crazy fast start. It starts off real slow, like that. Matter of fact, the Milwaukee does the same thing. Alright, so I have a piece of 10 gauge steel pipe. You can see how thick that is. I don't think you're supposed to really be cutting with this bandsaw on this thick of pipe. But let's try it out anyway, and let's see how straight of a cut we can get. See if I can get you in at a better angle. Alright, let's see if we can get a straight cut out of this. So I did not apply any pressure. I let the machine do the work, and I just let it roll down on its own. Let's see what we got for a cut. I would say that's pretty straight, and once again, that's pretty thick. Pretty hot too. I don't know if you can really tell, but it cut it pretty damn straight for being pretty thick. So let's get some thinner material and check it with that. Alright, so I got a piece of angle, and it's approximately, it's 10 gauge also. So basically the same thickness as the pipe. We'll cut this in half. And I think the other one is probably stainless, because it doesn't rust like this regular metal does. So this is probably a material that's not as tough. Let's see how fast it cuts it. Yeah, it is a much lighter material. You saw it cut so much quicker. It's got clean cuts on it. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. Overall, since I got the new blade, and it is a Milwaukee blade, it works pretty good. Let's try it on a piece of aluminum. Alright, the other piece I have for scrap that's aluminum is this pipe. I believe it's probably 10 gauge. No, yeah, it's 10 gauge also. So see that I don't have any scrap that's really thin. So let's see how fast it'll cut aluminum. That's pretty good. And it cuts it pretty damn straight. And once again, it cuts it really clean. So I'm pretty impressed. I like it. I don't really have anything thin. Oh, I do have something thin. Let's see how this is, what, 10 gauge. If it's 10 gauge, I'm not going to cut it. 10 gauge. So everything I guess I have is 10 gauge. This, you like those corn rolls? This is 10 gauge square aluminum tube. Let's cut it anyway. Just for the heck of it. So there you go, folks. It's not for this big heavy stuff. It's cutting through completely on the other side, but it's getting stuck right here. You can see the cut. That's weird. So let's try this. There you go. Pop the blade right off. So, I guess I don't recommend cutting anything thick with this. So that's out of the question. Alright, so what we want to do is let the blade cool and we'll come back. Alright, the blade is cooled. I put everything back in. Tighten it up. Working properly. Oh, I didn't mention it has an LED light, which is pretty cool. But I think everything has an LED light. Alright, so we already know you really don't want to be using really thick stuff on this. It does say on the box it's for lightweight stuff. Conduit, black pipe. Soft material, I'm assuming. So I did not buy this for this. That's why you would have a full size bandsaw. It did cut the metal pretty good. It did cut the pipe pretty good. The square tubing, that was a fail. Let me find something else to cut. Alright, so I have some 10 gauge stainless flat bar. I think it's 10 gauge. Yep, 10 gauge again. Must be so popular. Let's see how it cuts stainless. See, all these single cuts, they're working pretty good. I guess as long as you don't have like 4 edges on it or 4 corners, you're not going to have a problem. Alright, let's see what it does with stainless. It barely wants to make the cut, so I'm not going to ruin the blade. So stainless is out of the question. How about some aluminum angle iron? And this is 10 gauge as well. And so I think the stainless might have ruined the blade. It's cutting, but it's cutting real slow. Let's put another blade on it and see if that's what happened. And on this blade's only like 18 teeth per inch, TPI. So that could be another problem. Maybe you need like a 10 or 11 TPI instead of using such a fine blade. So this isn't intended for any heavy cutting. I'm just testing it. So if you guys have an idea of buying this, you know what to be ready for. Alright, so let's see if I ruin the blade with the stainless. And I did. So there you go. It's for light duty work. I'm assuming the blades aren't made for stainless steel. I can feel this is, you can't see it because it's so small on the blade. So that's junk. New blade, super fast cuts. light duty stuff, it works great. It's the Ridgid, and I guarantee you it's going to work even super on wood. So if you need it for wood, it's going to be a great tool. Everything else is light duty. This is not a heavy duty tool. You want heavy duty, get the big Milwaukee or DeWalt or what have you with the 44 and 7-inch blade. This is only a 32 and 7/8, 44 and 7/8, I'm sorry. This is a 32 and 7/8. So like I said, it's small, compact, light duty, but it'll cut. It'll cut anything you got as long as it's small. Alright guys, if you liked the video, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button, whatever you like. It supports me in the video to get more recognized. So thank you much, have a great one, and be safe. Alright, so let me go ahead and do a bonus shot here. I didn't do a piece of wood, so let's do a piece of wood. Alright, let's see what happens. Should cut pretty fast too. So there you go. It's a great little tool if that's what you need.